adding fuel to fire. French presidential hopeful sensationally attacks UK over Ukraine. A French MP and presidential candidate has accused the UK of adding fuel to the fire with its response to Russia's attack on Ukraine. Nicolas Dupont-Aignan, leader of far-right About La France and presidential candidate in the upcoming April elections, said Britain's position on the conflict in Ukraine by the hands of Russia is adding fuel to the fire. Speaking to CNEWS, Mr. Dupont-Aignan accused the UK of acting like the United States in pushing for Ukraine to resist Russia's attack but at the same time refusing to accept Ukrainian refugees to the country. He said the United Kingdom is adding fuel to the fire and at the same time has said, "No refugees in our country." He added, "It's like the United States, which pushed Ukraine and the Ukrainian government, but is now leaving them. It is normal for neighboring countries to take in refugees, but I don't want France to become the country that takes in all the refugees." In a counterattack on French President Emmanuel Macron, the French MP also said that there is no longer a French policy, in favor of a European policy, and regretted that France doesn't clearly give its solution to deal with the cause of the conflict. Despite being in favor of short-term sanctions, Nicolas Dupont-Aignan said the Ukrainian problem should be treated at its root. He stressed on finding an understanding with Vladimir Putin because, with or without him, Russia will remain. The comments come as Boris Johnson warned on Tuesday about the growing humanitarian crisis caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, saying refugee numbers could reach millions, with possibly more than 200,000 coming to Britain to join family members. Less than a week after Moscow launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Western leaders are looking at ways to help the hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians who have left their homeland. Poland has estimated that about 350,000 people have crossed its border from Ukraine since last Thursday, while the European Union has emphasized the need to prepare for millions of refugees entering the bloc. "We will make it easier for Ukrainians already living in the UK to bring their relatives to our country. Though the numbers are hard to calculate, there could be more than 200,000, Johnson said during a visit to Warsaw. Putin's invasion has already caused hundreds of thousands of people to flee their homes, and we must prepare for an even larger outflow, perhaps in the millions. Britain has 1,000 troops on standby to help the humanitarian response in Ukraine's neighbors, including Poland," Johnson said as he pledged up to £220 million in emergency and humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Home Secretary Priti Patel told Parliament the reunion criteria for Ukrainians would be widened to allow people living in Britain to bring parents, siblings, adult sons and daughters and grandparents to join them. Visas for Ukrainian temporary workers in some sectors will be extended to allow them to remain in Britain until at least the end of this year, Ms. Patel added, and the government will also set up a humanitarian sponsorship route for Ukrainians who do not have family ties with Britain. Ms. Patel said the usual language requirements and salary threshold for people coming to Britain to join their family would be lifted, and Ukrainians would be allowed to work and access public services. "We will give them permission to enter the UK outside the usual rules for 12 months, she said. There is no limit on the numbers eligible under this route. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.